the question to you, David, from our audience member is, David, do you buy the big grocery chains' explanations for their big profits?
Yeah, I mean, their explanation is we're buying more soap and lipstick. I don't know. Maybe people are buying more soap and lipstick. I don't know. The trouble is that you can't evaluate. It's impossible to evaluate whether that's true or not. It'd be pretty straightforward to say, like, you know, here's our margins on broccoli and here's our margins on lipstick, and, you know, this is how much people have chosen to buy more lipstick. It's plausible. I'm not saying it's implausible. But, you know, instead of getting into those debates of where it would come from, I mean, disclose the data, disclose it to the Competition Bureau and their investigation or their study rather of the grocery store industry. You know, clearly margins are up in the grocery store industry. There's no doubting that margins are twice what they were pre-pandemic. It was 2% of revenue being converted into pre-tax profits before the pandemic. Now it's 4%. So it was higher, you know, when the pandemic was at its peak. It was 5-6% then for grocery stores. Now it's at 4%. Clearly, they're making more money on every dollar that comes in the door. I would say, and I say this whenever we talk about grocery stores, is the grocery store increase in profits is a small part of the overall picture. It's very visceral for Canadians because they shop and they see the higher prices. That's not really where most of the inflation dollars are going. They're not actually going to grocery stores. The big industries are not grocery store industries that are seeing record profits. It's oil and gas extraction, it's oil and gas refining, it's the real estate industries, and it's the banking industries. Those are the industries that frankly are getting off. They're not being dragged in front of you know, parliamentary committees and trying to explain where these record profits are going. You know, oil and gas says they want to have a green transition and so on. They'll never have this much money ever again. The margins are just, they're higher than they'll ever be. And there's no green transition. There's no, you know, this money could be invested in a green transition. I mean, you know, they could be tearing down the oil sands and putting up solar panels, but that's not what's happening. Now they say, well, instead of this transition to green, you know, to a more green economy, we're just going to extract oil for a couple more years because it's become really profitable again, and let's do that instead. And so do I buy? Yeah. So, I mean, the grocery stores are a smaller part of a much bigger picture that frankly is getting a real free ride. You know, I'm glad the grocery store, you know, execs got dragged out and got to explain this a bit, but they're small fish in a much bigger picture here in terms of where all this inflation money is going.